bad spot to start off the day. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to the beautiful and sunny Mozambique. Today is the first day of my 10-day expedition here, guiding a small group of people and showing them some of the amazing things that this bay has to offer. We're going to be going out paddleboarding on the ocean, going on safaris to see the incredible whales here, and of course there's going to be plenty of diving. I'm going to be taking you guys along with me over the next 10 days on all the adventures that we have here in Mozambique. But first things first, what better way to start off an expedition than with a dive?
So I was like, pounds, and I was like, oh. Yeah.
Got the plats in the hair, and that only means one thing, diving. We're going to head out for a not too far away dive here. I'm just going to get everyone warmed up, get them used to the conditions and the visibility here in Mozambique. The nearby area is famous for nudibranchs, so I've got the macro setup kind of going. I've got the lights, which I'm trying out for the first time. Review video on that coming soon as well. But let's head out now for this first dive and see what we can see.
So just be careful about that.
So we jumped in for a nice and easy warm-up dive, nothing too crazy, probably about 15 meters max depth, but that was a perfect chance for me to try out the dive lights for the first time. And you'll see later in this vlog and also in the next one as well, they're really going to help me step up my underwater photography game. Now, I don't really have a macro setup, but here's one of the nudies that the local dive sites are famous for. I really do wish that I had a macro setup because it would have been great for getting this hawkfish as well. I saw this little guy hiding in this coral near the end of the dive, and thanks to the megapixels on the Sony a7R III, I'm able to get these images by cropping in from shots that I took from a distance. A really nice dive to kick off the trip. We jumped back on the boat and grabbed some lunch on land before heading straight back out onto the water for an ocean safari so that we could try and find some whales. The whales really are the stars of the show here, and the main reason that I wanted to run an expedition here in Mozambique is just so unique how close they come to the shore here and the kinds of encounters that we can have with them even from a boat. Now, they definitely didn't disappoint us on day one, and we had some great close encounters with mother whales and their calves. One of the best ways to track where a whale has been is to look out for the footprint. Now, this appears as a flat, almost oily patch of water, and this is caused by the temperature difference in the air exhaled by the whale and the cool water surrounding it. A pretty good start to the expedition with plenty of whale action, a very good omen for the rest of the trip. So the gang's over there paddleboarding, and I've got the drone up above them. There's actually a lot of whale activity as well. Just behind the breakers there is kind of like a whale highway, so they're always passing back and forth here. And we've actually seen a couple of breaches as well, which is really cool. And as soon as I put this away, I'm going to grab the underwater housing and I'm going to jump in for a snorkel there. This area we call Coral Gardens is really healthy, lots of vibrant corals there. So I'm going to jump in and hopefully get some split shots of the guys on the paddleboards as well as with the coral as well.
Hey! I know you, man. What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? They know the catchphrase.
What's up?
There you go.
Do you want to fight?
So after our morning paddleboard session, we kicked off the cultural tour with a visit to the local school to give the group a better idea of what local life is like in Mozambique. After the school, we headed out to Christina and Pascal's farm to collect food for dinner. Along the way, we got a little sidetracked by this beautiful female praying mantis which Mario spotted with his eagle eyes. It was my first time seeing a praying mantis in the wild, so definitely worth the little detour that we took on the way to the farm. Now, the main thing that we came to the farm to harvest was cassava, which is a staple crop grown across Mozambique due to its tolerance for drought. The root of the plant is what we all commonly know as cassava, but in Mozambique they also use the leaf of the plant as well, making almost a sort of curry out of it.
So first you need to dig and then you just
We all had a go at harvesting some cassava as well as trying some of it raw before heading over to Pascal's house to get started on dinner. So right now we're at Pascal's house. You saw us at the farm getting cassava and harvesting the matapa leaves as well, which is the leaf of the cassava plant. And then we harvested the root, which we're going to use for dinner tonight. Now we're at Pascal's house and we're doing some activities. So one group is making matapa, which is kind of like a spinach curry kind of thing. We'll put some cashews in it and some matapa leaves and some coconut and coconut milk as well. Then one of the other groups is making these sweet donut kind of things that they make here locally. They're delicious. And we've also been drinking and eating the coconut as well. So just giving everyone the full Mozambique expedition experience whilst we're out here.
Nos Seahorses então.
Vocês? Não me barulhem, vocês não sabem.
Mini. Acabou.
Welcome to day 3 of the expedition, and today we head north towards Barra to explore the mangrove systems that they have here. Mangroves are typically found in estuaries and bays where freshwater meets saltwater, and the long roots of the mangrove plant provide perfect shelter for juvenile fish. Now, this was my first time in a mangrove habitat, and I was looking forward to seeing juvenile versions of reef fish that I commonly see whilst out diving. But there was one animal in particular that I was on the lookout for: the seahorse. The walkout wasn't particularly deep, but it was riddled with urchins, so we really had to keep an eye on where we were placing our feet. But it wasn't long before we found our first gem of the day. These are harlequin shrimp, a species that I'd never seen before, so it was amazing being able to see them within just a couple of minutes of being out in the water. Without a macro camera setup, it's difficult getting good shots of these guys, but I'm pretty happy with these images. Before long, we'd found the animal that I'd come out here to see today, the seahorse. In my eyes, these are an iconic marine species, and I've long wanted to get an image of one in its trademark position with its tail wrapped around some seagrass. Thankfully, they aren't particularly fast moving, which meant that I could take my time trying to get some good images of them. Now, I could have literally sat here all day with the seahorses until the tide came in. The lighting was just perfect here in the shallow water, and I'm really happy with some of the images that I got. I even managed to get the bucket list shot that I was looking for of a seahorse with its tail wrapped around some seagrass.
So first seahorse. I've seen a seahorse before. Hopefully got some cool footage. The screen on this doesn't have any bubble on it.
After an amazing morning spent with the seahorses in the shallows, we went for a late lunch by the ocean before heading back home for a nice chill evening in preparation for day 4 of the expedition. Morning, calm paddleboard. Got a little bit interrupted. Got a little wet. Thanks. Conditions can change very quickly here in Mozambique, from lovely and sunny to that. So as you can see, the conditions took a turn for the worse, a lot faster than we thought they would. Unfortunately for the guys, they were out paddleboarding and got caught in the rain a little bit and got in some stormy conditions, but it's nothing that some hot food and a hot shower couldn't fix. Now, obviously, we're not going to go out again in these terrible conditions, so we're going to spend the rest of the day doing some editing and photography workshops, all wrapped up nice and warm.
Need and must say no to.
Yeah.
So part of like any of these projects is understanding that.
See, like, it's going to be a bit more blue now,
Yeah.
but we can edit that out in a second. But whale shots really lend themselves to that.
Yeah.
Because you can see, like,
So you can actually like clean it up.
Not quite fit.
I've got a big ass head.
Yeah, you have.
Almost.
Wear it sideways.
What do we think?
Not so bad.
It's not so bad, eh?
Fashion.
Yeah, it's very
That's perfect.
For the boat.
Yes. There you go. There we go.
The halfway point of the expedition, today we're in the tourist hub of the region, Tofu. Known for its surf culture and party atmosphere, we spent the morning in the local market looking for trinkets before the guys headed off to their surf lesson.
Your lesson is.
And whilst the group was enjoying the surf that Tofu had to offer that day, I popped down to the airport to pick up a friend before we all made our way to Sunset Lodge to enjoy a few cocktails whilst watching the sun set over the mangroves.
The students last night, that's what their eyes get from.
Yeah, we heard.
What a beautiful location to finish off the first half of this expedition. These past 5 days have just flown by, and we've had an incredible time exploring Mozambique and seeing just a few of the wonders that it has to offer. From embracing the local culture to the amazing marine life, we've really set the bar high in this first half of the expedition. Thankfully, we still have another 5 action-packed days here in East Africa, so who knows what we might see. Hopefully you've enjoyed joining our adventures over the past 5 days here in Mozambique. Make sure to come back for the second installment of the expedition vlog to see what else we get up to here in Humpback Heaven.